morning, noon, or night. I am your weird and wonderful host to the weird and paranormal side of YouTube, Grumble V. Today, we got a nice little cryptid video for you. Not cryptid as in, like, you must solve this. No, as in, like, the creature's cryptid. Because it's been a while since I've done one, and... eh. So, without me jabbering on a lot, let's just go straight into it.
Our world is full of strange creatures, with new oddities being discovered all the time. But if cryptozoologists, aka the folks who investigate creatures of folklore and urban legends, are to be believed, there are some creatures out there that go beyond just weird, stretching into what some might call paranormal. Most of these alleged monsters are nothing more but campfire stories. But sometimes, these cryptids are actually caught on camera, with pretty disturbing results.
I love that.
So today, we're going to do some monster hunting. Checking out the most notable sightings of skinwalkers, lake monsters, Bigfoot, and more, as we investigate the terrifying times that cryptids have been caught on camera. And try to figure out what really is going on. Mothman. A place called Point Pleasant might not sound particularly scary, but this West Virginian city is home to a very unpleasant creature, the Mothman. Mothman might sound like a knockoff superhero, but the cryptid is actually a 7-foot-tall flying humanoid with a pair of glowing red eyes and a reputation as a harbinger of doom. Since the first reported sightings in 1966, the Mothman has been spotted a number of times, his appearances coinciding with disappearing pets and, most notably, the collapse of Point Pleasant's largest bridge, an event that resulted in the deaths of 46 people. Historically, almost every Mothman sighting has relied solely on eyewitness accounts, until 2016. When a Point Pleasant resident took some pretty clear photos allegedly portraying the cryptid. Netizens went into a frenzy when the photos were released. However, skeptics quickly came up with some alternate theories to explain the sighting. Instead of Mothman, some believe that the image actually shows an owl carrying a snake in its talons. Surprisingly convincing, if you ask me. Alternatively, some have suggested the Mothman's legs could be the antennae of a California root borer flying directly in front of the camera, which certainly isn't out of the question. This isn't the first time that Mothman sightings have been attributed to ordinary animals. Today, some are convinced that the cryptid spotted in the original Mothman sightings was a misidentified barred owl. The barred owl isn't 7 feet tall, but as a nocturnal animal that perches in trees, their eyes brightly reflect light, appearing to glow bright red. Some folks struggle to believe a creature like an owl could be mistaken for a terrifying monster. However, this video that went viral a few years back shows that sometimes even baby owls can look pretty terrifying.
Oh my god. You see nothing. You see nothing. Go away.
Go away. But despite these rational explanations, the Mothman is still an important part of Point Pleasant's folklore, with statues, shops, and an annual holiday devoted to the creature. Lots of people in Point Pleasant still believe in the cryptid, but if it is real, don't fear. All you need to defeat the Mothman is a bug zapper.
What you need is one of those, like, you know, those rackets with the fucking zappy bit on it. Just need that, and a hell of a good fucking arm.
Night crawlers. Now let's move on to something even stranger. A pair of disembodied pants going for a stroll.
I do like these. They are hard to explain.
This captured oddity has been labeled the Fresno Nightcrawler and was caught on a home security camera in Fresno, California back in 2007. The Nightcrawler became a local legend, but it didn't stay for long, with 2 more being spotted in Yosemite National Park in 2011.
Yosemite Sam.
See, they're awesome. They remind me of Spirited Away. Spirited Away? No. Princess Mononoke with the little fucking forest things. I'll put a picture up here. That's what I mean. One of those.
As the Nightcrawler footage went viral and claims of aliens and demons began to spread, skeptics simultaneously began investigating. YouTuber Captain Disillusion scrutinized the footage, noting how the terrible quality of the recordings would make it very easy to fake, either using CGI animation or even just a modified video clip of someone walking along, presumably wearing MC Hammer pants. Adding to this, the owner of the original tape claims that he accidentally erased the original footage, making the high-quality version impossible to access. This is pretty convenient, leading skeptics to believe that the entire thing was probably a hoax orchestrated by the owner of the security camera.
I don't care.
Given that
It's real
these
to me.
strange bipedal cryptids haven't been seen previously nor since, unless our 2-legged friends reappear, I, for one, am going with my own theory. This whole thing was just a publicity stunt to sell these sweet, sweet wearable sleeping bags.
Among Us!
Water lurkers. Next up, we have a piece of cryptid footage from Iceland that was so believable, the local government was forced to respond to it. The Lagar floatsimmer is a legendary monster, believed to dwell in Lake Lagarflot, in the east of Iceland.
Looks like a
There have been
Rayquaza.
sightings of the serpent since 1345.
I mean, if you're into Pokemon, you know what a Rayquaza looks like. If not, yeah.
And in 2012, the giant serpent was supposedly caught on camera. Check it out.
It does look huge. But you've got to think of, like... Yeah.
Pretty compelling, isn't
you
it?
know what I mean.
After the footage went viral online, the local government got involved, holding a truth commission to determine whether the creature was real. And while some skeptics suggest the thing in the video may be a frozen fishing line being pulled against the current, remarkably, after viewing the footage and external evidence, the commission came to the conclusion that the monster was real. They officially stated that they had no reason to doubt that some sort of giant creature lived inside the lake. Now, before you start to panic, just because the creature in the video was determined real, it doesn't mean it's a monster. Assuming the government's conclusion wasn't a sneaky attempt to generate more tourism, real aquatic animals can indeed grow to monstrous sizes, though admittedly this is typically more common in the deep ocean. Indeed, several supposed historic sea monster sightings have since been theorized to be cases of mistaken identity, with sailors thought to have actually caught a glimpse of animals like the oarfish. Oarfish can grow up to 36 feet in length, and their incredible size and bizarre appearance means the fish is regularly mistaken for a sea monster. While oarfish only live in oceans, it's possible that a different creature could be living in Lake Largaflot, swimming along underneath the surface. Check out this giant lake sturgeon discovered in Canada's Fraser River in 2022.
Let's go fishing, boys! Why is the fin
From a
so
distance,
far back?
the sturgeon could easily be mistaken for a sea monster. And the existence of fish like this, alongside their serpent-like motion, could
Yeah, but
explain
where's
the
the
creature
tail?
seen in the
Where's the
video.
tail on it?
Either way,
Where
whether
is
the
the
cryptids, the
tail?
legendary Lagar flotsummer, or
Fin
just a giant
is
fish,
what I know.
you won't catch
Fin.
me swimming in that lake anytime soon. Bigfoot.
Yes.
Now we've looked at a few lesser-known monsters today, so let's move on to an A-lister, the one and only Bigfoot. The infamous cryptid is a
Biggie the
giant bipedal ape, said to inhabit woodlands across North America. There have been a huge number of reported Bigfoot sightings in America, but the most famous is the Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967, recorded by two hikers in Northern California.
Huh? Oh shit. Not sure about the Bigfoot, that one though. Not sure about it.
The footage clearly shows an ape-like creature walking on two legs, and it's arguably the most famous cryptid sighting of all time, parodied in movies and printed onto t-shirts. While the men who captured the footage have maintained their claim that it's real to this day, technological advancements have allowed netizens to enhance and stabilize the film, making the infamous footage far clearer. This enhanced footage gives us a better idea of what the camera is actually capturing. And to me at least, Bigfoot looks a lot like a dude with bad posture in a gorilla suit. Now, despite this famous footage being questionable to say the least, Bigfoot is still so popular that different parts of America have their own versions of the monster. The skunk ape is a giant, foul-smelling Sasquatch that's been spotted roaming around the southern USA's swamps and forests. Sightings of the skunk ape have occurred since 1957, and evidence of the creature includes this photo. Taken back in 2000, the snapshot was sent to Florida's Sarasota County Sheriff's Office alongside a letter claiming that the creature had climbed onto the sender's back deck. The creature in the photo is pretty creepy, though some skeptics believe the creature is an escaped orangutan, living out in the Floridian swamp. Of course, while the general face and body shape lines up with this theory, orangutans always have red fur, so unless this pic was edited or taken in unusual lighting, the theory doesn't fit perfectly. Of course, fakery is always a possibility, but this skunk ape pic remains one of the most convincing pieces of evidence out there. Another alleged skunk ape sighting was shared on YouTube in 2013 by Josh Highcliffe, and this one's pretty perplexing. The footage, captured in a woodland west of Tunica, Mississippi, seemingly shows a Bigfoot-like creature pulling bark off a tree. Now, it's worth noting that some skeptics theorize that Bigfoot sightings, which often involve tree bark being ripped off, may merely be bears standing on their hind legs, tearing bark off trees to access the tasty tree sap beneath. But once Josh's creature stands up, it's pretty clear it's no bear. Check it out for yourself. Pretty strange, isn't it? Could this be a real skunk ape? Or just another guy in a suit? Of course, it's hard to say for sure, but there's one major issue stopping the Bigfoot cryptid joining science's officially recognized animals club. The issue being, if Bigfoot existed, its population size would need to be in the thousands to allow for the continued survival of this species. If a species doesn't have a significant population, they're unable to effectively reproduce, and inbreeding and a lack of genetic diversity would cause them to gradually go extinct. Contrastingly, if the Bigfoot population were in the thousands necessary to sustain the species, then sightings would be far more common, making the cryptid less of a mystery. So whether Bigfoot sightings are bears, apes, costumed men, or legitimate undocumented species, one thing's for sure. They sure are fun to think about during a weekend in the wilderness. The rake.
Yeah, boy.
Bigfoot
I fucking
famously
love the
lives
rake.
out in the backwoods,
Wait.
roaming far away from
You
civilization.
know what I meant.
Unfortunately, this next terrifying creature prowls a little closer to home, hunting for prey in suburban streets and backyards across America. This cryptid is the rake, a terrifying monster that stalks its victims on all fours. The rake is a very modern cryptid, and as a result, almost all of its sightings come accompanied with footage and photos. The most famous of these sightings was shot in 2006, capturing the monster hiding in someone's backyard. As the video went viral, the creature grew from an obscure cryptid to an online legend. However, the rake's existence as an internet cryptid means that sleuths have been able to trace the first mention of the monster online.
This be why I get distracted sometimes. And their little pup. This one will never make a cryptid. She's also the reason why I haven't uploaded for a while. We haven't had her long, so she's a bit... yeah. Anyway, onto some cryptids.
A trail that led them straight to the 4chan message board in 2005.
Good old
And here's the
4chan.
twist. The original thread consisted of a group of netizens actively working together to create a new monster to trick the internet. But what about the images and videos of the rake? Well, that chilling clip we saw is actually taken from a short film by a group of Spanish filmmakers who created a horror film about a fallen angel. Originally, the film had nothing to do with the rake, and the footage was simply appropriated by netizens who wanted to trick the internet and keep the hoax alive. This image, meanwhile, was originally promotional artwork for the video game Resistance 3, depicting an enemy from the game in a realistic trail cam setting to drum up attention for the release. Admittedly a creepy creation, it provided perfect fodder for online storytellers to establish the lore of the rake. And honestly, real or not, I think I'm done looking at it, aren't you?
Nope.
The Thunderbird. The Thunderbird is a legendary creature found in the mythologies of several Native American tribes. A bird that was so gigantic that the sound of thunder rang out every time it flapped its wings. While largely considered fictional, a group of men in Tombstone, Arizona claimed to have killed and captured one in 1886. Tombstone's local paper reported the story.
Zapdos with an Articuno.
A photo that showed men posing in front of a giant pterodactyl. These photos were rediscovered and posted online in the 2010s, prompting conspiracy theorists to believe that A, the Thunderbird was real, and B, it was some kind of non-extinct dinosaur. As the story started to gain traction, skeptics got involved, conducting an investigation into the photos' origins. It turns out a story about the giant bird did appear in Tombstone's newspaper. However, the photos that were being shared online were total fakes. Back in 2000, a TV show called Freaky Links featured an episode on the Tombstone Thunderbird, and the production crew created a giant model pterodactyl to reenact the event. The circulated photos of the Tombstone Thunderbird, it turned out, were nothing but TV props. What's more, the real photos of the creature allegedly captured in the 1800s have also since been lost, which is a little too convenient. So, unsurprisingly, experts don't believe that a giant pterodactyl was flying around Arizona in the 1800s. Now, that being said, experts do believe that the Thunderbird myth may have its roots in dinosaur bones and remains. Pterodactyls and pteranodons might not fly around the sky anymore, but their fossilized bones are still buried all over the North American continent. The same is true for fossilized remains of giant birds. In 1983, paleontologists uncovered the largest bird fossil of all time, digging up a Pelagornis Sandersea specimen with a 24-foot
Sandersea.
wingspan in North Carolina. Before going extinct 25 million years ago, the creatures were very much like real-life thunderbirds, as were similarly sized bird species like the Argentavus, a huge South American condor-like predator seen artistically recreated here, that went extinct around 6 million years ago. These types of fossils can be found all over North and South America. So it's easy to imagine how historic humans, unaware of the difference between fossils and real bones, might assume they'd found the remains of a recently living monster. At least let's hope fossils were to blame. El Chupacabra. The chupacabra is a cryptid reported in the deserts of Texas and Mexico, a predator known for draining livestock of their blood. In Texas, the monster is described as a large, spike-spined dog, whereas in Mexico, it's seen as a kind of alien lizard.
Chihuahua.
The monsters in alleged photos of the beasts are pretty creepy, but in almost all cases, these chupacabras are actually dogs or coyotes suffering from mange, a disease that causes their hair to fall out and their skin to shrivel. So, the chupacabra is usually a sick mutt, not a monster. But what about the sightings where the cryptid looks more monstrous? This footage claims to show a chupacabra stalking through the desert in the Navajo Nation Native American reservation. The creature in the video definitely isn't a dog with mange. However, judging by the inaccurate lighting, shadow, inconsistencies, and general PS2 character model appearance, it's pretty clear to all but the staunchest chupa leavers that this clip is nothing more than CGI fakery superimposed onto the video. Most of these chupacabra sightings can be explained away, but it doesn't change the fact that real livestock in these areas have genuinely appeared on multiple occasions to have been drained of their blood. So what gives? Well, that can be explained by a biological process called lividity. When an animal dies, its blood stops being pumped around its body. This means that the blood seeps into the lowest part of the body before drying and thickening, giving off the illusion that the animal has been drained of blood, especially if a test for blood is carried out on its upper extremities. This neat piece of science pretty conclusively explains the origins of the chupacabra myth, but it's also put me off my dinner. Gross. Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil is an incredibly unusual cryptid from New Jersey, whose body is said to consist of a goat's head, bat's wings, and a forked tail and hooves. The legend first emerged in the 1700s, with folks alleging the cryptid was the product of an affair between a witch and Satan. I wouldn't want to marry into that family. People have reported sightings of the beast many times since then, but back in 2015, a New Jersey resident called David Black became the latest. Black claimed to have snapped a photo as the monster flew past. The very same night, another New Jersey resident managed to capture the cryptid on video.
Oh, bollocks. Fuck off.
Some cryptozoologists
Really?
took the footage very seriously, but skeptics were quick to take note that while the poorly lit creature's wings flutter like a butterfly, its body remains totally still, its head and legs locked into position as it takes to the skies. This lack of movement implies this thing isn't a living animal at all, and the most likely current theory is that it's probably a stuffed animal or cardboard cutout attached to a flying toy.
Yeah.
This video and David Black's image are almost definitely hoaxes, but there may be some truth to the Jersey Devil myth, though it doesn't involve the devil. Some have theorized that early descriptions of the Jersey Devil share an uncanny resemblance to the real-world hammer-headed bat, a large animal found in West and Central Africa. While this odd bat certainly matches many aspects of the described creature, nobody can explain how the tropical African bat ended up in New Jersey. So unless it escaped from a zoo or a private collection, for now, the wonderfully witchy deal with the devil may still be on the cards. Probably not, though. skinwalkers.
Yeah.
The Navajo culture of the southwestern United States is
Skinwalkers
known
and
for its
rapes. I
beautiful
love
traditions
listening
and
about them.
customs. But like every culture, the tribe's oral traditions are also full of terrifying monsters. One of the Native American tribe's most fearsome monsters is the skinwalker, an evil witch that has the ability to shapeshift into different animals. The skinwalker, legend has it, uses its powers to trick tribesmen, luring them into a false sense of security before killing them. Some people believe that when the skinwalkers are in human form, they're animalistic, growling and running around on all fours. For this reason, some netizens consider this 2021 CCTV footage to be a skinwalker sighting. Take a look and see what you think. Now, as unnerving as that may be, not everyone's convinced. Some viewers hilariously speculate that the person in the video could simply be searching for their glasses at an incredible pace, training for a wheelbarrow race, enjoying the cool night air after an evening of recreational consumables, or, of course, intentionally creating a hoax cryptid video. This next photo, meanwhile, is arguably the most widely shared example of a skinwalker sighting. Various online postings of the photo claim it was taken on a trail cam out in the woods. However creepy as it is, I can confirm that's not true. The image is actually a still from a 1982 movie called Extro, about a man who gets abducted by aliens, and the creepy creature is one of the aliens' grotesque offspring. So another skinwalker clip proven fake. But perhaps there's still hope? Believers say that after a skinwalker shapeshifts, it isn't able to replicate an animal perfectly. Instead, their face, body, or behavior will continue to appear human in particular, unnerving ways, as captured in this eerie sculpture from artist Anya Boz. But sculptures aside, the internet is filled with clips of animals exhibiting hugely unsettling, semi-human behaviors that leave you wondering what might be lurking behind their usually cute eyes. When this TikTok was posted, viewers instantly began speculating that the dog may be a skinwalker, noting its mechanical panting and evil stare. However, it's worth noting that the person filming is holding a toy in their hand, and the video was clearly shot on a hot day. The mutt could be a monster, but it's probably just an overheated dog waiting for its owner to throw the toy. Similarly, this photo claims to show a skinwalker posing as a deer, standing on its hind legs and staring at the camera. In reality, it's just an edited version of this original image, and the creature is just a regular deer munching on a tree. So I've done a lot of digging, and none of the supposed sightings of skinwalkers I could find were particularly convincing. However, even this lack of evidence has a terrifying explanation in skinwalker lore. There's a superstition that if you mention skinwalkers out loud, they'll start to hunt you down, tracking you until they find and kill you. As a result, the Navajo are very secretive about their stories of the skinwalker, and more authentic skinwalker sightings are often kept a secret. It also means that we...
So while finishing the editing, I realised I did not do an outro. I sort of just left it and that was it. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a comment down below if you want me to do more like Skinwalker or the raid shit. I'm more than happy to do so. But hopefully, see you in the next one. Until then, toodle pippage for now.